I want to write a book dealing with climate change simply because it's become a big issue in the culture, and there's all sorts of fear out there about what's happening. And every time we see something happen, like a hurricane or a tornado or cyclones in Australia or floods or fires, it's blamed on climate change. I even heard a politician recently blame earthquakes on climate change. Everything seems to be caused by climate change these days. And so I wanted to write a book on that. Number one, dealing with the biblical worldview aspects for Christians to understand how should we approach this topic of climate change. And I wanted to deal with the scientific aspects. And so I asked Jessica if she would come in and deal with that because she's an expert in that particular area. And so we co-authored the book, and it's divided into two main sections, one dealing with all the scientific aspects, the other one dealing with the biblical worldview aspects, and they all come together to enable Christians to have answers in these areas and to train their children correctly and to have the correct view about these things. The cover actually says, the title, Climate Change for Kids and Parents Too. In other words, it's for everyone. It really is. It's for the whole family. And I encourage people to sit down and study it as a family.
I actually have the honor of giving 2 talks here at the ministry. One is called Climate Change Factor Fiction. Another one is called Are We in a Climate Crisis? And I walk through some of the observational science with people and download the data sets and show them that we don't need to be fearful when there's sensationalist claims about the Earth experiencing unprecedented warming or extreme weather events and things like that. We can look at that data. We can see that it doesn't go along with the narrative. And most importantly, we can rest assured that God is in full control of his creation. We see that from the very first verse. We also see that in Psalm 24:1, the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell therein. In Genesis 8:22, he promises that seasons and cycles will remain in place. There's a lot of variability in climate systems, but it's going to remain in place as long as God allows them to.